Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Credit One Platinum Rewards Visa credit card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card. First off, we're going to be discussing cashback and how much you can earn with it. So starting out, you will be earning 2% across the board in cashback in these categories as follows. So you'll be earning 2% back at gas stations, grocery stores, internet, cable, satellite TV, as well as mobile phone services. And then on all other transactions across the board outside of those categories, you would be receiving 1% in cash back. Now with this card, you can actually earn even more cash back. You get more rewards. You can earn up to 10% more in cash back rewards from some of the nation's top retailers. No offers to activate or points to redeem. You'll just automatically earn the cash back on your eligible purchases. Then on top of that, with this card, you can also earn some other benefits as well. So just starting out, you will have the option of contactless payment. You'll also be receiving a zero fraud liability as well. So if you happen to lose your card and someone picks it up and uses it and spends hundreds or even thousands of dollars with this card, thankfully you'll not be held liable to pay for those transactions because you did not authorize them. Furthermore, you're also going to have free online access to your credit score. So if you want to maintain your credit score, increase it, you'll be able to keep an eye on that and have some features for increasing it hopefully down the line. Then on top of that, you could also going to have access to the easy to use mobile app. You can also customize your notifications. So if you want to know when your payment is due, whenever a transaction takes place, and different features like that, you can customize your notifications to pop up on your phone or through email or other ways like that. Then you can also choose a new payment due date as well. So perhaps if you get paid on the 15th of every month, but your due date is set up on the 10th, then you can actually push that back after the 15th. That way it could make more sense to you. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees. And of course, that's also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be at 29.74%, which is definitely on the high end there. So you definitely want to make sure that you're paying on time. That way, you're not going to be hit with this large amount of interest. Once again, 29.74%. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.74%, just like on your purchases, plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as the fees go, starting out on your cash advances, you're going to have a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. So in the case you have a cash advance of like $300, in that case the 5% is going to be greater. That's going to be a $15 fee plus the 29.74% interest rate on them. So that's definitely going to add up quite a bit. Then on top of that, with this card, there's also going to be a foreign transaction fee. With this card, it's either going to be $1 or 3% of the amount of each transaction, whichever happens to be greater. So if you have a transaction, a foreign transaction of $100, in that case, your fee is going to be $3, which is going to be, in that case, 3%. So this is a card you'll probably want to leave at home if you happen to travel internationally and instead You might want to take a credit card that's like a travel credit card, because those typically do not have foreign transaction fees, or a credit card by Capital One, because those credit cards are also typically they don't have foreign transaction fees either. Then as far as some other fees go, if you happen to pay late, there is going to be a late payment fee of up to $39. Now with some credit card companies, the first time you pay late, you can sometimes call in and ask to have that late payment fee waived. Sometimes they will, sometimes they don't, but you might want to consider setting up auto pay, marking your calendar, do whatever you have to do, make sure that you are paying on time. That way you can avoid that late payment fee of $39. And of course, on top of that, you'd also be paying interest, which would be a large amount of interest as well. Then on top of that, there's also going to be a return payment fee of up to $39 as well. And then finally, with this card, there are no annual fees. So this is a card you can keep on a year-to-year basis if it's a card that you decide to apply to and get accepted for, because you are not going to be paying anything for it. So you don't have to consider on a year-to-year basis, like, am I getting enough benefits back to make paying anything for it? Because once again, there is no annual fee. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the best things about this card and the worst things about this card. So we're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that you will be receiving 2% cash back in a few different categories. Once again, that's going to be gas, grocery, internet, cable, satellite TV, and mobile phone services. So a lot of categories where you can earn a pretty decent 2% cash back. And then finally, with this card, there are no annual fees. So those are the two good things about this credit card. As far as the drawbacks go, unfortunately, I have more bad things to say about this card. Starting out, you're not going to receive any type of spend bonus. So with other credit cards out there on the market, they might offer you like a spend bonus of $200 if, let's say, you spend at least $1,000 within the first 3 months. With this credit card, there is no spend bonus currently offered. So that's one of the biggest drawbacks with this card. Secondly, you have a very high interest rate. Once again, 29.74% on purchases. That's definitely on the high end. Then there's also going to be a foreign transaction fee. Once again, on each transaction, it's going to be a foreign transaction fee of either $1 or 3%. So it's a drawback as well. And then finally, in many spending categories, outside of the 2% cashback categories, you're only going to be earning 1% cash back. So that's definitely going to be on the low end. And in that case, you might want to use another credit card on those transactions, one where you can earn at least 1.5% cash back. So just to sum things up here, all in all, this is a credit card that I personally would not get. So it's also a credit card that I probably would not recommend to others. First off, you're not going to be earning any type of spend bonus. Secondly, there's a lot of categories you're only going to be earning 1% cash back, which is very, very poor. Thirdly, you have that very high interest rate. So all in all, it's just a credit card I probably would not recommend. And instead, you might want to look at another credit card where across the board, you can earn at least 1.5% cash back, maybe even 2% cash back, such as the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card or the Fidelity Cash Visa credit card, where both those credit cards are going to be earning 2% cash back. And then, look for a credit card where you can earn some type of spend bonus, at least $150 or $200 for, let's say, like spending $1,000 within the first 3 months. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.